you ready to rumble? It's Super Sunday, people. Welcome to the stream. Let's go.
Sanchez waiting on the back post. Surely he'll be found and does score his first Premier League goal at Old Trafford.
Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to the Super Sunday and MUFC Realist TV. I'm your host, Mick Ruby. And boy, do we have a cracking Sunday and a cracking panel waiting in the green room. I mean, I hope you had a fantastic weekend so far. It's Sunday. We all chilled. We are waiting for the biggest games to happen, and it's going to be Liverpool versus City, of course. And behind the scenes, we do have some City supporters. Not really. We can't find them, actually. We were trying to find them, but we only managed to have a Liverpool supporter. And of course, we're going to review and talk about Manchester United at Theatre of Dreams, perhaps smashing or thumping Newcastle. But without further ado, let me just see. Guys, are you ready? In the background, are you ready? Give me a sign. I will let you in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Super Sunday show. There's a before. Take a pause, take a break. There's a like and subscribe button. Please hit it. There's also an opportunity to chat with us and ask the correct questions further down. There's also a link in the description below to call in, to have a chat, 1 minute or two. Tell me what your score predictions are and your general mood. But without any further ado, are you ready? Hello, guys. Welcome. Hey, how are you doing?
All good.
Afternoon, you all right?
Afternoon. I'm fantastic. I'm super pumped, super gassed, super dry. Not really, because I'm in Sweden at the moment. It's pissing down. It's raining cats and dogs. So I wish I was super dry, but at least I am super pumped because it's Super Sunday. So David Lavelle, welcome back to the show, mate. How have you been?
Thanks
How
very
was
much,
your week?
Mike. Yeah, very good, very good. I'm looking forward to the football today. I think it's two cracking games. It's been a good week. So Champions League, moving on to this.
From a Liverpool perspective, are you looking forward for this?
Yeah, listen, I suppose really we had a good win during the week. Cracking win.
Are you scared?
People are not saying, "Oh, Liverpool are back." We're back on form. And as I said, like one sparrow doesn't make a summer.
That's true.
Good win,
against Rangers, yeah.
Rangers are a good squad. It's a game you would go into and you would think we'd win anyway.
Yeah.
But I just think with the scoreline, I mean, fingers crossed, Mo Salah's back to scoring.
Yeah, and also my favorite two left feet is back scoring as well. Darwin Núñez, he found the net. So we're talking about people. If you want to backtrack, look at the first Super Sunday that we did. We made a little bit of a joke about Darwin Núñez, but kudos. For me, David, it looked like the second half. The wheels came back on the Ferrari, the Jurgen Klopp Ferrari, and he had a big smile, like his shiny teeth is bigger than I don't know what the cathedral of, but it's shiny. So so. How do you feel? Like, are you feeling more confident, or you going to Haaland say, "Oops, Haaland"?
Well, I'm feeling from this day last week slightly more confident. But listen, we've got the two best managers in the world on today. No offense, Phil, but we've got these guys are.
Ten Hag's got to prove himself. Yeah, it'll take time.
But it makes for a cracking game. We all know what Man City can do when they turn it on. We also know what Liverpool can do when they turn it on. So let's just hope for a fan, even the mutual fans, that both sides turn it on. We have a cracker today. I think it has the potential there. If you look at historical results, it has a. There's
I don't know, man. From the higher forces above, if you believe in Superman, I think somebody's been feeding Klopp kryptonite lately. Like the way you're sitting, I think I looked at the score at the fixture. I mean, at the table, you're sitting at 11th at the moment, right? Oh my God! And you there was a funny thing because pre-season, the pundits and everyone was tipping Liverpool to be like, challenging for the title. And, looking at it now, 11th, like, is this really happening? Like, there must be some kryptonite.
We just haven't got into their flow from last season. I think Mane, as we discussed last week, the sale of Mane it's affected. It's massively affected the setup. And Nunez hasn't really hit the ground running as such. So it's just one of those. We've had problems in the centre of the park. I just think we're still. I think we're going to January transfer window. We still need to look at bringing people in.
You're still stuck in the US tour, aren't you?
Well, could be.
Sit gently. Phil Standish, how are you, mate? How was your week?
How are you? Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Busy, very tiring, busy week. But yeah, we made it through. Go again next week.
How's Manchester? Rainy?
Dry, not raining.
You're super dry
sunny,
then.
Actually. So yeah, the Old Trafford scene is set. Perfect weather conditions, ready for the game in 1 hour. We had a bit of a downpour yesterday, just so it'll like soften the grass, which is nice, is how we like it. So everything is going in our favour ahead of the game. Looking forward to it. Obviously, they're just 1 point behind us, albeit with a game in hand on us. But they can't essentially leap forwards today. And obviously, they've got some good Newcastle, that being. The lineups are out now. I don't know if you want to onto that or not, but the official lineup.
I have my before you go. Wait! Don't do that spoiler. Because obviously I've prepared something. Yeah, so we can look at the real lineup after. But I actually prepared our combined lineup basically for the show. But what we're looking at now, I'm kind of designed the scene. I've switched the scene here. So looking at the league table, reflecting on what you said, we're sitting 1 point behind Chelsea with 1 game in hand. Correct. That's fine. So what is your overall? Yeah, true.
We've got the same amount of games as Chelsea, not game in hand. We've got the same amount of games as Chelsea.
We do, yeah.
And we're a point ahead of Newcastle. And we've got a game in hand on Newcastle. And we're on 1 point behind Chelsea at the moment. So obviously they've got Villa today, I think it is. So last season, you would have said that's a tricky fixture, but the way that Villa's performed this season, I do think Chelsea's probably going to win that. I'd like to be wrong, please. I hope I am, but I do think that Chelsea's just going to have a bit too much. I know they've lost games for a long time now, but I think they've got other players who can certainly replace him, and I don't think that'll be the biggest loss for them. I just think that Chelsea just going to have too much for Villa. So yeah, I just think that we'll still say, I know it's at Aston Villa, but I think that aside, I think we'll just see that. I think it'd be good to see maybe a 1-1 draw but I just think that maybe Chelsea probably have too much and they'll just keep above us by 1 point with the same games. So, but it's good because I think because of the way we started the season, we're against obviously those 2 massive losses. And then we've clawed our way back and we've won some nice big 6-pointers in there as well, obviously with Liverpool being one of them. Sorry to mention it. But I think it really give us the chance to ourselves back up there and also to sneak up as well, because there's a lot of things going on. Obviously Spurs, City dominating with Haaland, Arsenal still beaten except for 1 game which they lost again against United. So the point I'm making is we're doing all right, we're making good movements. We've had a couple of injuries to contend with, but we're just making it through with a great performance midweek against Ammonia. But again, we got over the line. But we did get over the line. So yeah,
fair enough.
At the moment, isn't it?
To be honest, Phil, I mean, what do you know about Newcastle and Bruno? I have not. I mean, I keep hearing like, okay, I know the Saudi bought him up, but this season I have not watched 1 single game with Newcastle in it. Right? I know that Saint Maximin is back.
Well. St. Maximum's not back. He's out injured.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, he's still out.
But in a way, every time we played them. I mean, I remember last
St.
season.
Maximum is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
But the thing is, St. Maximum's been out and they're still putting on great performances. Almiron's found his form. He seems awesome. Bruno Guimaraes, however you pronounce it, in
the
midfield,
Starman, yeah.
he is fantastic. And if they get to, I think he's only on a loan, about a 6-month loan, I think it is maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if they get to keep him, obviously, depending on how well they perform, whether anybody else big comes in for him, and I say big, I'm talking of an established club with a big history. So any Newcastle fans, feel free to say what you want. But in terms of where you're going, you're definitely going in the right direction. But you're not yet a big club in terms of history, trophy history. So I know you've got some great history, but Newcastle are definitely on the up. This buyout has been a big thing for them. Getting Eddie Howe in, he's to be the right fit. He seems to have settled down now. The players he's brought in have done well for him. Obviously, having Trippier is an absolute brilliant move. He's fantastic. Got Premier League experience and European experience. But I think Guimaraes is the key player for them. I'm not trying not to talk about the lineup, but they've had a couple of players who've hit a bit of form recently. But I just think St. Maximum is the one who's bullied us over previous seasons. When we played
that's
against
what I was thinking.
And he's always turned up and showed us up really.
Absolutely.
But he's not there today, and hopefully that will give us the edge.
And Phil, what do you think of the whole way that Newcastle went about their business? Listen, we know the financial backing that they've got, but yet they haven't went and they haven't overspent. I think Dan Ashworth has come in. They were very patient at bringing Dan in from Brighton. I know Dan personally. He's 1,000,000%, and I think. From my perspective, I think they've done things right. They haven't went in. They haven't done it. They haven't done a Man City and thrown money at it. I don't know, guys, what you think of it, but I think it's very positive. In the way that they've went about business.
I think a bit of both. So I think they have gone a little bit. I think at first they tried to go a bit Man City, but I think respectfully again. They realised we're not going to get the big names just by throwing money at it until we see a little bit of progress. When they were looking to buy, if I remember correctly, they were when they first started, they were really low in the league. They had the money and they were low in the league.
Yeah.
So they still had to prove themselves, had to develop themselves. And Eddie Howe, he's obviously seen the players he's got and thought, actually, we've not got a bad bunch here. So they did try to obviously overspend and get people. All right, we can say what we want about this guy, about Lingard. They tried to pay an absolute fortune for him, and they tried to do the Man City approach, throw the money, as when Man City started off, not where they are now. Throw the money, throw the wages towards Lingard, and I think he just thought, actually no, whether he thought I've got a better option with West Ham or. Obviously, he's ended up at Forest. It's not worked out for him. But the point I'm making is they were prepared to throw a bit of money, thinking that was the approach. And I think when they realised quickly that wasn't always working, they were like, right, we need to be selective on who we are approaching and to make sure that they are interested in joining us before we get caught out.
I mean, you've got to remember that when Eddie Howe come in, he inherited the team that we're playing. Let's be honest with you. We're possible.
You disappear there, I think.
Possibility.
You're back.
A couple of weeks before, and obviously it's worked out in his favour. I think he, as I say, inherited the team, and all of a sudden, with the same squad, he was getting results. They were clawing their way back, and I suppose it brings the it's all about how the manager installs his ideas, and what he wants to do to bring the same players on. I mean, Steve Bruce and whoever else was there before, maybe it just different way of managing, different mindset, and it just shows you, with the same. The thing is, the same group of guys who weren't getting results 1 week. You change the manager, next thing all of a sudden you're getting results and you're keeping your head above water. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And you look at Newcastle.
They have done well, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Nick Pope, brilliant buy. He's come in. He is a fantastic keeper, fantastic keeper, and I think that was one of the steals of the season. If I'm honest with you, if you look at him, okay, we played for England there recently, and he made a bit of a cock up. But apart from that, he's always been a solid keeper. I think at Burnley just wasn't going to be potential. And I think once again we touched on this. I think last week with the World Cup coming up and Jordan Pickford. And if it was me, I'd put Pope before Pickford any day of the week. I think he's a fantastic keeper.
I agree.
And I think United will find it tough today that they get one past them, or maybe get a couple past them. You don't know.
I think
it depends on the lineup.
The lineup.
No, I mean, in terms of they bought Alexander Isak from Sweden, the Swedish player. Of course, me being Swedish as well, like I always watched the Swedish national team where they was playing, and he's a fantastic player, right? But there's still lots of development in him. And coming to Eddie Howe, I do respect Eddie Howe. I think he's a cracking manager as well. The way he worked with minimum budgets and get the maximum out of his players. Like, so, Newcastle in all glory, like, they've been shambles, like I've been interacting with some Newcastle fans in the past. And, it's Newcastle is kind of, the football is kind of the pride and glory of the town. So they've been deprived as much as what we have in the past 6 years. But for me, Newcastle in the past was like, one of the big boys, like competing. Right? So happy to see that, they're a couple of transfer windows away. So I'm worried. Yes, no. Am I worried about today? No. I think that we are seeing from a United goggles perspective that we are making Old Trafford a fortress again. There was that slip, of course. There was that 4 weeks period where we didn't play and we were a little bit rusty when you lost the momentum. But looking at the Ammonia game and the Europa League, it was frustrating, 35 attempts, shots on target. And I was thinking the gravity.
Shots on target.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem. We were making shots. We still had, I think it was 12 shots.
It was a brilliant shot.
Game, which is great, but it's only 30% of your shots.
But
so
then
if we were getting 60% on target, then we should be dominant. We should be battering that game.
Yeah.
And some of those shots, they were a bit poor.
Yeah, but Casemiro's shot and Francis, what was his name? The Nigerian keeper. I was so gassed for him, because he came off. He was so happy, right? So he played his boyhood dream club. He's a big fan of Manchester United. He played against his heroes, and he was the man of the match. We were just peppering him, and the Casemiro shot that he actually got his fingertips on it and hit the crossbar. It's just like, freaking hell, man. Where did you come from? And afterwards, his grin, in the interview, that was just priceless. And this is football, people. This is what we live for. We have somebody, Bona dia, Mr. João Pedro. ¿Cómo estás? Where are you calling from? We have somebody is calling from Bona dia. João must be Brazilian, or I would read maybe Portuguese. Let me know where you're calling from, where you're chatting from, João Pedro. Cool. So basically, I'm positive. There was a genuine feeling this week within the United faithful fan bases that we are, finally seeing the fruits of United fan bases are gelling again. There's a belief, they're starting to believe in Erik ten Hag, but there's still that PTSD fans that still, I get it, they still have the player agenda. Bruno was getting a lot of stake. There's still David De Gea agenda. There's even talks about David De Gea getting a new contract. I saw recently, but I think from that point, we've been linked to Mbappe now as well. If we look at the news, even 1 second I saw, United people holding spaces on Twitter saying, "Oh, we're gonna get Mbappe." I was jumping in, listening. Next thing, I shut that down the space, and then Liverpool is hosting another space and saying we're gonna sign Mbappe. So, what's your take on that? Like, what do you think Mbappe is not happy in PSG, and what do you think that there is no smoke without fire if it's coming out in the media, right? Maybe it has to do with. Ah,
Yeah, I
come
wouldn't
on,
agree with
David.
that. I wouldn't
From an
agree with
agent
that.
perspective, David.
Yeah, listen, I suppose we all know the sort of finances that Mbappe needs or he's on. And let's be honest, is Liverpool or United going to pay that? Listen, I'd love to see him in the Premier League, the physicality of it compared to Ligue 1. But or maybe some of the Spanish big boys going to come in with a ridiculous. I mean, Liverpool have a wage structure.
Yes, you do.
And listen, we've been linked with him now for a couple of windows on and off. I just financially don't think Liverpool would do it. I don't know what the package would look like. But if we can't get Mo Salah, who's a legend at the club now, to sign a new contract because of the wage structure, are we going to be enticing the likes of Mbappe to the club, who are on we'll say roughly 500 grand a week?
Well, apparently he's playing sporting director is what I'm reading at PSG. Like, he's got so much player power, so it's ridiculous, right? So, the question is, from a United perspective, do we really need a commodity player like that comes with all that baggage? He's a fantastic talent. The question is, he doesn't track back, does he? Like, not that much.
Yeah.
He's from an attacking standpoint, yes. Who doesn't want Mbappe to play for you, right? But from a team perspective, yes, if it comes to Erik ten Hag, I think, we've seen that with Cristiano Ronaldo. He was benched for a few games until, he got to, until he earned the right. And this is something that I want to talk about, because this is something that I haven't seen for 6 years, right? We finally have a manager that, he wants to play the best team. You saw that in the Europa League. I was thinking he's going to give the kids a chance, but no, he wants to win. So he went very strong. So I'm very curious what's going to do now, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about, this season in Prem, it's all about you seeing togetherness, right? It's not only with United. We've seen that with Arsenal, for instance. We're seeing that with City. We're seeing that with even Newcastle and other teams. So, it's a season of surprises. That's what I would say. Who would thought that, Liverpool will be at 10th, 11th right now? So, I mean, I don't want to be like that person to, David, but
that's the truth.
No,
I say it's the truth. We
truth.
just haven't performed.
But for me, like, I don't know, Standish, what do you think? But for me, I'm getting hyped now. I'm getting gassed. I'm seeing that things are moving on. People are fighting for the competitions. Like, you're not taking your place for granted anymore. Is top 4 achievable for you? Why should we lower down our expectations? We are Manchester United.
For Man United?
Yeah, we're Man United. Yeah. Do you reckon we'll finish top 4?
I think we should finish. I do believe we'll finish top 4. I think that's helped by. I feel that it's helped by genuinely looking aside the fact that Liverpool, who were almost guaranteed to be in the top 4, are currently below us by 2 games. I think it is by 6 points, 5-6 points.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a long way to go in the season, and that can be gone in a week, especially with like midweek games. But I just think that we're going in the right direction. I think what my problem is, we're seeing the Ammonia Nicosia games, and we're struggling to take our chances. So we're not seeing that consistency yet. We're still getting the points, and I'm absolutely buzzing, and I cheered a lot. It was couldn't do it too loud because of the kids in bed. But when McTominay scored. But at the end of the day, we got over the line. There's been games last season where we weren't getting over the line, so we're going in the right direction. You know, I can imagine. I kept off social media because I was about half an hour behind the game, unfortunately. I kept off social media the other day, but I can imagine when Scott McTominay was brought on, when we were in need of a goal, the abuse that Ten Hag probably took, like what you're doing, what you're thinking, man, sort of thing. You know, I've not seen it. I've hardly seen social media at all this week.
Oh, come on.
But Ten Hag is, when you look at the substitutions he's made over the last few games, nearly every single one has been absolutely spot on, and even at the right time. You know, I think what we've done in the past with I love Ollie, and I really wanted him to succeed. But moving on from him, there was moments when you're thinking, you know, you can see the fans screaming at this, thinking, this needs a change, this needs a change. Get a player on now, 60th, 60th minute. And Ollie would make changes in the 75th, 80th minute when he realised, oh, they haven't made it today. We'll make that change, you know. Ten Hag is taking Anthony off with 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go. And he's played a good game because he's recognising that Anthony, he's looking a bit tired. He's not. He's burnt out a little bit. He's not having the same impact on him he was at the beginning. Let's get somebody fresh on. Let's go again. Yep. And he's doing that, and he's not afraid to make those changes. He'll take Ronaldo off. He'll take Anthony off. He'll take Bruno off.
He took Malacia off.
Ericsson, he doesn't.
He put game changes on, basically. That's what you're trying to say. He took up Malacia, put in Luke Shaw, changed the game, put in Scott McTominay. The Twitter spaces was going, oh, Scott McTominay, like, you know, oh, the Bishop is coming in, right? But the Bishop, when I called him Bishop because the only way he could go was sideways. Like, he was just, you know, before under past managers, he was only driving the ball sideways and passing it backwards. But this is different Scott McTominay that we're seeing. So I'm super happy that he came in and scored the late goal. I'm saying that I absolutely agree with what you're saying. Ten Hag substitutions has been tactical, astute. It's been spot on the money, and it's no longer Fergie time. We're talking about Ten Hag time, right? But it's not in the 10.
You've got to remember that this guy's track record, you know, Solskjaer come in, okay, club legend. Let's give him a go. That's fine. Ten Hag has come in here. His background and his track record speaks for itself. So you've got to respect this guy. Knows what he's doing. He's not. He's done it. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt, and now you know. I think his decisions are working for the club. You know, so like on social media, you get you listen. No matter what, social media, you always get someone who knows better. Yeah, always. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. But once again, if this guy sees him day in, day out in the training pitch, he knows what they're capable of. Knows to score with the players. As I say, he's managed at the highest level in the world, really.
Absolutely.
And you know, people who are out in building sites all day and only getting to watch like glimpses of the players in the evenings or whatever, and saying, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. But like he's seen them training all week, seeing how they're performing. As you say, with Anthony, maybe he was a bit tired in training during the week, and he could see that come through, making these decisions. And like this is no matter what you say, Liverpool fan, whatever, United decisions are paying off at the moment for them, you know. And it's like as a football fan, you've got, like, United are one of the big boys. It's good to see coming through.
That's what we're here for. We are consumers of the game. But we are consumers of the game, but there's been also some controversial VAR decisions, which is also looking in the review mirror. That's like being very inconsistent with handballs and stuff. That's human error, and I don't want to talk about it. You know, I just want to watch the game. I want to get excited, no matter if Liverpool is playing, United is playing. You know, I'm just happy for the Premier League, because for me, Premier League is the best league in the world, like, you know, with the most viewers every week. And today happens to be Super Sunday. And somebody, João Pedro, hola, Coca-Cola, says it's 10 hora, means it's 10 o'clock at his time. But I don't really know if you're calling from Brazil or where you're calling from, brother. But Fly, if you're Portuguese, you know, all good. Big up to you, mate, for tuning in that early time. I think it's Brazil. Not sure. It's 10 o'clock. I don't know the time.
Late time, maybe it's at night.
He's all geared up. He's all super pumped. And he said his score prediction is, I'm going to dive into that later on, because I want to present our score prediction later on. So he's saying 4-1.
Oh,
he's going bold. He's going all bold. Same 4-1 Newcastle. No, I didn't say Newcastle. 4-1 United. Then I was reading another chap called Billy Meredith on Twitter. He was saying 6-0. So I got a little bit in a debate because I know he's in supply chain. He works in supply chain. So I said, okay, that makes some logical sense because considering United had 35 shots on targets and only one went in. So basically the way you're calculating is the Newton's law. It's the supply and demand. So basically it's going to be 6-0 according to his calculations. So, and I told him, like, usually I'm Mr. Positive. I get criticized by Standish that, hey, Mick, you always giving positive results. But this time I went a little bit more controversial, you will see. But I'm playing it safe. I don't know about you, Phil, but yeah. So cool. But from a Kloppish perspective, do you think Klopp is back now? The mentality monsters, he's been struggling a while.
Yeah, I suppose he lost his mojo there for a while, didn't he? We've all, like, his interviews are fantastic. He's very straight to the point. He's funny, but very direct at the same time. He's on the sidelines and he's got the smile with the teeth and he's loving life, and the players are coming off. We've had a couple of injuries there with Trent. Obviously, he won't be playing today. Diaz, but I suppose on a positive, we'll hopefully have Robertson back. Andy was involved in the game on midweek, and fingers crossed, that he's back and firing on cylinders.
Cool. No, good luck to you, boys. I'll be definitely watching. That's later on to today. I think it's about
4:30 kickoff.
4:30. I'm in Swedish time, so for me it's 5:30. It's perfect. Imagine that I'm in December. I'll be in Thailand, so it's going to be probably morning games for me. So anyway, I want to take this opportunity to have a look at Erik ten Hag's animated lineup. This is the crazy world of Mick Ruby. This is kind of the content creator, the crazy mind that Phil is always saying, Mick, where do you get all these ideas from? I say that, I never sleep. I produce the music, I play. It's all about the details. But at the same time, I'm having so much fun in doing it because you're using your passion. I love football and I love designing things, and I like to create motion designs and graphic design. And I know, Phil, you also like to do the graphic design as well, but maybe one day I will delegate a little bit to you so you can do the thumbnails because I suck at thumbnails. But guys, I want to look at this week's presser a little bit from a Joker side. If you have followed me, I do the Erik ten Hag avatar, the moving emotions. So this is a little bit of unique. If you want me to do a Klopp, that would be fun. It's gonna be what? Yeah,
you should use lots of hugging there for Klopp.
Well, I should do Klopp, yeah. Klopp at the Klopp.
You use lots of hugging there for Klopp.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. That's Klopp. Without further ado, let's have a look at Erik ten Hag's. This was done before the actual lineup came out, but I thought we got to have a little banter, a little bit fun. It's Sunday, so let's go for it. You're all in there.
You want Frankie? Eric, just on that, you're obviously very clear you want to hold in midfielder, and obviously you're very, very heavily linked with Frankie de Jong.
Any of the injured players like to be available for the game this weekend? Are they still out?
You want Frankie? No, it's about the right place, and there are many, but I cannot give comments on the player who's in the contract in another club when we are.
I'm not happy. Where's my Frankie? I've done a lot of spanking, okay?
We have to cancel it and then do it. Oh, we do it manually then. I'm just going to go with Davide here and go, of course. Then I'm going, for sure, with Erik ten Hag's voice. Yeah, I'm going to go with... Who else am I going to lie? Of course, Lisandro Martinez. And of course, next to him will be Rafael Varane, the Rolls Royce. Champions League around. Then, of course, they got the hot Bombalons forward. Luke Shaw is coming in instead of Malacia, that's what I think. Then in the midfield we have Casemiro, which is absolutely signaling, together with Ericsson, which is plugging all these donut hole. Now, going with Bruno. Bruno actually got a lot of stick, but he's been working hard, doing 100 push-ups under hard with the training. And of course, we have Marcus Rashford. He's on fire, just needs to find his firing skills. So, Anthony Santos was paid 95 million. He's been proving very deep. I believe he's going to score another one with his tricksters spinning around. And of course, CR7 is godsend. CR7 stars.
Are you happy? Whatever. I'm the gaffer. I make the team.
Yeah, it is whatever. Support the team for fuck's sake. It's a rebuild, Erik ten Hag. We love you. We support. Now,
So,
Phil, what would
do you want my lineup?
Yeah, please. And then we can.
This was predicted. This was predicted. So, and the proof is the fact that it's wrong to compare to the actual. So, I have De Gea in nets, of course, making his 500th appearance today. Come on, David.
Yeah, come on, get in.
Then we've got Shaw, Martinez, Varane, and Dalot. Varane being back and Shaw staying in. I've got my Rash on the left, Ericsson and Casemiro, and Anthony on the right, and Bruno and Ronaldo through the middle. That's my predicted lineup. I've now seen the official lineup. If you want me to read that out and compare. None of us got it right. Ericsson's out completely, not even on the bench.
What? He's not?
Now Ericsson's out. He's put Fred in instead of with Casemiro.
Oh, okay. Well, Fred and Casemiro, they played together in the national team.
Sancho's in instead of Rashford.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Interesting.
And he's kept Ronaldo up front. So big team news really is Eric not being available at all, but he has got, and I think it'd be wrong not to mention him, Kobe Mainu on the bench, who's been training with the first team. Along with Iqbal and Garnacho, Alanga, history. So on the bench, there's very little experience. It's all youth. As I say, Mainu, Iqbal, Garnacho, Alanga,
There we go.
Malacia, Rashford. So very little experience off the bench apart from Rashford, really.
There's your answer.
No Tony Martial. So the only experience we've got, if we need to change the game, is Rashford and Alanga.
That's confidence for you, mate.
Like
that is confidence. I was wondering. Even
sounds like we've got we're dealing with.
Sibit is in the house. Hello, Sui. Exhibit, welcome to the show, man.
Exhibit, welcome back. Good to hear from you.
Welcome back. He's loving Sui. So let's see. What does he say? I don't have my reading glasses on again, Exhibit, but okay.
Says, I never miss my prediction. I think Lindelof instead of Varane, or maybe Maguire can start. So, Exhibit, back to the drawing board.
Yep, you missed it, right?
Both wrong.
Ooh. So he goes by Casemiro, Fred, Bruno. Yeah, that is it. That's what we just mentioned. Mate, How will you feel about that one? How about we feeling about Casemiro aligned with Fred? And
I think Casemiro's finding his form. I think giving him his game time, he's ironing in out the bumps that he was finding at the beginning when he was getting 10-minute cameos and 15 and 20-minute at the end of a game. I think he's obviously got man of the match. He's hit the post. He's at the bar. He deserved man of the match the other day. He's certainly starting to show what he can do. He's got the assist for Ronaldo's goal, which has broke that duck. So, and he's got the experience, and having Fred alongside him, who is more of a defensive player, but can also push forward. We mustn't forget that. Last season he ended up getting 3 or 4 assists, Fred, and he was taking some shots on goal as well. Well, taking some shots, they weren't all one goal, but he takes some shots. I think it's a good balance. I think Sancho on the left, he's showing his creativity, and I think he's left Rashford off because I think it's probably just a case of if Newcastle do get tired then we've got some fresh legs with lots of pace to make the
Garnacho as
impact
well.
from the bench. With Garnacho as well.
Mr. Phil, that kind of debunks what you said before, actually. You
About
know, that actually he's not afraid to take to put the players that are in form at the moment. We saw Sancho coming in the Europa League. He did well, right? He was instrumental. He was game changer.
Yes.
Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, etc. But Scott McTominay cannot play because he's booked himself for a, what was it, 4th or 5th yellow card, so he's suspended for 1 game.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this manager. It is a modern day football manager, tracksuit manager. He wants to play the best team, and even the pundits were saying on Thursday he went lined up very, very strong, and even the pundits were saying, "Why he's going to line up on Sunday?" Well, here's your answer, people. Here's your answer. Let's see. Sibit, you're full of the questions.
It's like what I thought. Also, Sancho, Anthony, like I said on other United streamer yesterday. So he was obviously didn't catch that stream, but he expected Sancho and Anthony to start, which is well played. Because I didn't see the Sancho coming back in, to be honest. But maybe that's been impacted by the Martial injury. I don't know.
I was actually congratulating his agent. Said, like, fantastic, like, great job, like, what a dream. As Anthony say, agent, and he's like, thumbs up and was all lyrical and smiling because, from an agent perspective, taking your player from Eredivisie, from Sao Paulo to Eredivisie, and taking to the dream, to Theatre of Dreams, and your client is scoring in 3 consecutive openings, right? David, that must be a dream, right? You as a player manager, as an agent.
Yeah, I suppose really.
Proud as punch.
Listen, when you develop a player like that, you get a buzz when you see them performing on a big stage, and they're performing as they can, and you've got that confidence in the player bringing them through. When they're there, it feels like, not to be cocky, but like I told you he was good. I told you can do it. And sometimes you do feel proud. It's like watching it's like a parent watching the kids playing football at a school match, and they're playing well. It's the same feeling. You know that you had confidence in that player. You took a risk with that player, bringing them from day one and nurturing them right through. And then when they're at that situation, you're just going, I told you.
I told you so.
It's great to see.
It's all about believing. I will promote, because people, if you missed it on Friday, I had the episode 2 of the Football Agent Talk Show came out. It's a freaking beautiful story. It's about grassroots to the big stage. Have a look at it. It's I forgot to put it in the video description, but it's about 30 minutes long. It's got English subtitles, but it's with Jonathan Diarte, which is a grassroots agent. He's the agent of Lisandro Martinez, took him to Eredivisie. There's a beautiful story, Garnacho, Donnarumma, and many, many more. So this is kind of when you're operating in these emerging markets, which some people call emerging markets, he's calling Latin America. It's all about culture. It's all about, identify. They come from broken families with alcohol and drugs, neglected by their father. The only way out is to play football, right? So he's kind of telling you the story that he's there from the early stages in development and taking them and developing them, being the father figure, being the marriage counselor, the lawyer, doing everything. It's a beautiful story. Part 1 is out. Part 2 is coming. And, when I did this show, I worked with him in the past. He's a fantastic, humble person. So I know what it takes to take a, let's come from Sao Paulo, for instance, which is also the similar Brazil, like, crime, violence. You stick not to end up in gangs. You tend to play football, and so proud of him, and his agents is very proud. So I'm kind of looking forward also to bring him on as an interview. But guys, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about football. But if you do have a chance, it's my channel. I want to promote the content. Phil, you watched it. What did you like? You didn't have.
I've not had chance. As I say, I've not been on social media at all. I won't go into my personal life, but it's been manic. That's all I'm going to say. And so I've not seen the second video. The first video was absolutely brilliant. The way it's put together, it's a completely new way of sharing information. It's all done through animation. It's done through there's a constant, the different voice going on. It's interacting with with
keeps you never to
Alexa, the
that's the purpose. It keeps it's an educational forum. Like, David knows.
Bixby, that's the one. Yeah.
David knows that's in the industry that, there's a lot of things that goes on the hood, right? People just think that you work only during the transfer window and the rest of the year you take holidays. No, David, it's not the case. David just came back from Germany. He's always on the foot, traveling, dealing, getting hijacked. I'm looking forward to have you on the show, David. That's the way we're going to do that.
Anytime. Yeah, I got back from Germany late on Friday night. Actually didn't think I was getting back, to be honest. I had to go through Schiphol. Long story, but it's been a hectic week. But good. I can't complain. Very productive. So, yeah.
Sibit,
Fred will be good if he improves his ball control. He's awful when he receives a pass. I think Fred is definitely getting better. He's shown under different managers that he's respected, and like David was saying before, that we don't see what goes on off the pitch. He's certainly being given his chance. I think Fred has some great moments. He just has that error in him. If you can get that error out of him, I think he's great. He's got the tenacity. He pushes forward. He gets great tackles. He's getting involved with the goal action as well, goals and assists. I've just been brought a brew, so that was fantastic. Thank you very much. In my Sir Matt Busby Man United Cup, just to
rub it in.
I think that's my wife saying the game starts in 10 minutes.
There we go. We have 10 minutes.
Just very obviously we've mentioned Fred, but just moving on. We were talking before about how United are getting on this season and whether they're making progress. Over the next few weeks, we're going to see, because we've got Newcastle today, then we've got Spurs and Chelsea next. So that is, we will know in the next few weeks whether we have made progression or not. We saw Arsenal turn over Spurs, which was a shock in my opinion. I didn't think they would. I thought it would have been like a draw, a 2-2, 1-1 or something. And they look vulnerable at the back, but when we can take those chances, I don't know. And then Liverpool over the next few weeks. They've obviously got City today, then they've got West Ham and Forest. So I think if we do this show again in a couple of weeks, we may be having a slightly different conversation as to what our prospects are and the expectations of the league. Or they will be saying, fantastic, they've passed the test, and onwards and upwards. Hopefully that's what we are saying.
David, you have something there.
we need David Eat with United players.
Oops. Are you going to give that away, David?
Well, no.
No, that's a secret. You will see in January, right? That's what you're saying. It's a Christmas gift, right?
Yeah,
David. Obviously, it's 10 to 2. What's your thoughts on the City Liverpool game? Because obviously this shows both teams in both games.
if I'm honest, if Liverpool turn up today, Phil, if the Liverpool that we know can turn up and coming off the back of a good winner on midweek. I think it'll be a game. It could be a 2-1, or it could be a goal fest. In the past, you look at previous, some of the results. It can go either time 2-1.
Yep. Yeah. I did the graphics, mate. I did. Don't worry about it. 2-1. I'll let you have it.
Liverpool could win it 2-1.
I do. I just think coming off the win during the week, and the confidence buzzing around. I think we can. And
I think so.
And I think also if we do, Phil, I think it could change the season. If we lose today, it changes the season in not a good way for Liverpool. If we win today, on the back of that, I just hope it gives them the boost that they need to kick.
You have to win. Your back is against the wall, basically.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, guys, we're not even Christmas, so we're miles off. People are saying, "Oh, Liverpool are 11th and all this." Listen, many games in, are we? So let's not jump the gun.
No.
We've seen it. Was it last season that this time last year that we were miles behind? City, we clawed it back, and eventually, it went down the last game of the season. And as a football fan, how exciting was the last day of the season last year? You know, you didn't know where the trophy was going. So, yeah, as I say, if we kick on today and we get back, yeah, we'll wait and see.
Listen, it's going to be an interesting matchup. We have Van Dijk, Haaland. We don't talk about Haaland. No. There's another super chat question here from I'm waiting for Dallo. Some next match, but
wait for Dallo versus Son next match. But let's focus for today. Let's see what the Brazilian duo can do to control the midfield. It's a good point, actually. The Brazilian connection played before. I forgot about that. Actually, it's a good point. And they do have that connection. And you say that is it's a very good point. You know, it may well be that actually works for us quite well. And Casemiro and Fred alongside each other. I don't think we've seen it yet this season. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I don't think we've seen it this season yet. Certainly not from a starting point. We may have seen it towards the end of a game when it's almost finished or whatever. But yeah, let's. I think we needed that, and I think, as I say, I do think we'll just have the edge on Newcastle. They've got some good players. Having Varane back is help for us. I think that is a big difference. Lindelof's done well, I have to say that. He's not been slated. I do think United are going to win today. Thank you for that prediction. Yeah, 2-1. I'd love to see a hatful of goals coming, but I just not. You know, I know we had those 36 shots. Again, my point to made is only 10 of them are on target. So unless we're hitting the target, you still only got your 30% on target. So if we only get 10 shots today and same percentage on target, we're only getting 3 shots on target, and only one of them may go in, sort of thing. So really have got to improve that success rate. Conversion rate is the word I'm looking for.
Well, I'm going to switch over to my prediction, though, because I'm very, very, very Mr. Positive again. I was actually going for 2-1, but then after speaking to Mr. Meredith on Twitter, he convinced me that he's going for 6-1, so I have to just bump it up to 3-1. You know, Mr. Ruby always go for 3-1. For some reason, I always go 3-1. I don't know. I kind of like the 3-1 formation, or I don't know. It is what it is. But in general, I am super excited. It's going to be a tight game. It's Old Trafford. I don't think they have a chance, but it might be even a 2-1. I was originally going with the 2-1. Boys, you know what? It's almost time. It's show time. Listen, we got a super chat regarding Mason Greenwood. We're not going to talk about it in this show. We leave that to the police to handle and the jurisdiction, and we are here to consume football. So just want to mention it. People want to know our thoughts. We're not going to talk about it, right? We're not. Let's just enjoy the Sunday. Guys, thank you for an amazing interactive show. Always pleasure to have you, David. I'm still waiting for your response so we can have our one-on-one.
Anytime.
Anytime?
Anytime. Give me a shout. Let me know.
Really?
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Well, 4:30 today.
4:30. After 4:30. Listen, the glaze is out. Scream and shout. Green and gold until we're sold. People, don't forget that. You know, I was supposed to be there today on the 17th. I wanted to go here because it was my birthday. From a milestone, I'm super excited for all of you that tuned into our channel, that have been supporting us. 10 weeks in the making, 11. It's been time stamped. We had reached 10,000 subscribers, and boy, I am so happy and excited. And it's all down to you that we're creating a platform where football is for the people. We speak the passion, no matter where we are, who we support. The football is round and it goes in the net, you know, and it's played to the final whistle. Of course, there's controversials in terms of wrong decisions, fans on Twitter and social media having different opinions, but that is the game, you know, that makes the game so beautiful, you know. So I want you to stay beautiful this Sunday and keep supporting us community. Keep having a say, keep coming. You know, it's thanks to you that we're making better content. You're the one that keeps me up late at night coming up with crazy ideas like this. I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing this because for the love of the game, not only for United, but for the love of the Prem, for the love of the Copa del Mundo that's coming up soon in November, December. that's going to be cracking in Qatar, finally. So, guys, it's almost time. I'm getting a little bit nervous. But
yeah, I need to go. I need a nervous break.
But guys, anyway, Glazes out, Glazes out. If you are at Old Trafford, never stop singing, and don't, please. The only time to hurt them is financially. Like, don't buy the merch, don't buy anything. I'm all Glazes out. I've been there for 7 years, and I'm an advocate for it. So, football belongs to the people, not for the corporates. Guys, enjoy your Sunday, and bye for now. See you guys. Thanks for coming on. Cheers.
Thanks very much. See you soon.
Of Mick Ruby and Realist TV.
Anyway, cunts, adios, I'm out of here.